Driveways.
He wasn't. No. By today's standards, a wild-ass liberal, wild-eyed liberal. I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead. And then on Sunday, gentlemen, winds are beginning to shift back to an onshore flow and at a lower temperature. So onshore and along the beach, this way, which helps having even more weather. Because the temperatures are lower, and you have the quick action and firemen is lower dramatically. And the air's more humid. And you know what? We've been experiencing devastating fires, but nothing in Southern California. Yeah, we've been very lucky that Southern California has not ignited. So you're not really seeing a massive swath of property, especially in the Central Valley, because it's all houses. And there isn't that much to burn. You remember when those houses burn? They do, but it's not like a wildfire. Although, do you remember in Oakland is surrounded by hills, it's almost like a basin. Yep. And the houses up on the hill are very expensive houses. I mean, they're insanely expensive. 3,000 of them burnt. That is problematic. And part of that, I think, if they live up high, it's that chimney effect of the fires going straight up. Yep. Okay, you mentioned this earlier. Mark Ridley Thomas, a city councilman and an ex-dean of USC, have been indicted on federal corruption charges. Yes, this is a Jerusalem story, which we're going to do at 7 o'clock. So we'll just do the headline. Starting at 7 o'clock, the inside scoop and why I hate that. And we don't like when those reporters said we talk too slowly. So you have double charges for it going on today? Charges jumping on? Yes, we do. Oh my gosh. In Norway. No, sorry, Sweden. Well, it was near Oslo, Norway. The story came out of Stockholm. The reporting for some reason is state line Stockholm, Sweden. But it's in Norway. A man was going around with a bow and arrow shooting people and actually killed 5 people, wounded at least 2 others, one of them an off-duty police officer. And the weirdest part of it, I mean, the whole thing is weird and tragic, but this happened yesterday. They had the man in custody, but they haven't questioned him yet. Weird. Now, maybe he was hurt, maybe he's in the hospital. We don't know a lot about his status and how he went around with a bow and arrow shooting at people. And it reminded them of what happened about 10, 11 years ago where that guy set off a bomb at the Veterans Center and went on a shooting spree. This is not exactly the same. But in a country like that, these kinds of things don't happen. Right, no guns happen here so frequently. Very difficult to get guns. It's a bow and arrow. Very random. I mean, you don't hear about a mass shooting with a bow and arrow. Also, I want to point out the most heinous crime, and it doesn't matter what it is in Norway. Maximum prison term, 21 years. That's going to go to pretty soon. Okay, although if you're still a dangerous society, they can still make it on. The guy you're talking about, 77 people, young people. Yeah, a bombing and then shooting a bunch of young people at a 21 years the max. Although they have a thing kind of like we have where when he's ready to come out, if the courts determine that he's still a danger, they can extend it. But the idea that in the law it only provides for 20 years, murdering 77 people, and then they had something which we also have, but then again they don't have the rates of violence that we have, so it's kind of a weird counterintuitive situation, and it is. One other thing is this guy, they say, converted to Muslim, and they're calling it a terrorist attack. But which terrorist goes around with a bow and arrow screaming Allah Akbar? Well, you know what? You're putting holes in people, whether you're doing it with an arrow or a piece of shrapnel or a bullet. Yeah. And by the way, that just as an aside, Barry Breivik, who shot up youth camp. They have political youth camps there, which we don't have. This was a labor youth camp, like a labor movement. That would also basically as if we had Democratic Party youth camps. Yeah. It's weird. And, they sit around the campfire singing the International. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This isn't on my list, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. We are just learning that an LAPD officer has been shot and is in the hospital. He was shot in South LA, and he's in the hospital, and that's about all we know.
We don't know what the extent of the injuries are.
No. He was conscious and breathing when he went to the hospital, so that's a good thing. A guy who allegedly shoved a 12-year-old girl to the ground and tried to assault her was later arrested on a bicycle naked.
Yep.
Why?
But also, what was he wearing when he tried to rape this girl? He was dressed as a woman.
He was dressed in women's clothing. Then he took off his clothes.
Yeah.
Then he started riding around on a bicycle naked. My guess is the plea is going to be not guilty for reasons of insanity. What do you think?
Or he had a plan, which is I'll be able to get close to this girl.
Could be.
Because she'll think I'm a woman. She won't be as threatened.
Could be.
And then when it went south, he was like, well, I don't want them being able to find me by a description of my clothing. Not that being naked won't draw their attention. So I guess I'm not so ready to dismiss this guy as having a mental illness.
We have just described the prosecution position and the defense position.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's going to happen. All right, let's take a break and check in with Chris Little, some news.
All right, thanks, Bill. As I mentioned just a moment ago, an LAPD officer has been shot in the South LA area. It happened early this morning. He has been taken to the hospital. They say he was conscious and breathing. A local state of emergency has been declared because of the fire north of Santa Barbara. It has burned more than 15,000 acres and is 5% surrounded. The 101 freeway is closed through the area. 2 birds covered in oil after the spill off the coast of Orange County have been cleaned up and released. We check the drive with Kfi in the sky coming up next.
Bill, thank you. Lifesaver. Hey, no problem. Doing something with my car. I love a new car like yours. Actually, it's not new. It's a Toyota certified used car. Wow. Looks new. Drives great. Well, that's because Toyota inspects from top to bottom. Gives them great warranties. And, it's a Toyota. Mind dropping me off at a Toyota dealer? Good move.
The best new cars do make the best used cars. And now, get 1.99 APR on any used Camry, Corolla, RAV4, or any of the Prius family. Along with a 160-point inspection, you get a 12-month or 12,000-mile limited comprehensive warranty and 7 years of roadside assistance from the date of purchase. For all warranties, see dealer for details. Not all customers will qualify. Limited term financing through Toyota Financial Services. Must take delivery from Toyota Certified Used Vehicle Dealer stock by midnight November 1st. We make it easy. Toyota. Let's go places.
Looking to save money on auto insurance? It's easy. Get your free quote at AAA.com/insurance. You could save even more when you bundle your homeowners or renters policy too. Visit AAA.com/insurance today for your free quote. Southern California weather, sunny today, highs in the low to mid 70s at the beaches, 70s and 80s inland. This report brought to you by the Auto Club of Southern California. Looks like we still have some problems on the 170.
Oh, we sure do. Now, listen up. I'm just going to cover the San Fernando Valley here this week, but we've got a major problem driving south across the valley. Believe it or not, right now, South 405, 118, and the 101 is the best way. The big problem is South 170, just past the 5170 split, past Roscoe only the carpool lane is open. It's backing up to South 5 to the 118 and going back to the 405 split coming on Newell. Long delays. If you do struggle through this and take the South 5, now there's a new crash, South 5 around Empire Burbank Boulevard. So long time delays. For the 170, if you can get on, depending where you're starting out from, you can get on the South 170 at Sherman Way from that point, all the way down towards the 101 and all that stuff. You're in pretty good shape. Again, South 405, it's really slow, but for 118 and 101, all lanes open. Injured in action, visit Super1 and Superlawyer.com. Jeff Foss, AFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. We're celebrating apple season at Whole Foods Market. Save on organic Honeycrisp apples for $2.99 a pound through October 19th. Plus an extra 10% off for Prime members. Get them in-store only while supplies last. See more on the Whole Foods Market app.
So many of our listeners have entrusted Sweet James accident attorneys in their time of need after being injured in an accident, and you know why. In the moments and days following an accident, people don't know what to do or who to turn to. Your life has changed, you're in pain, you might not be able to drive or work. The worst part is the insurance company that promises to protect you will try to pay you the least amount possible for your injury. The team at Sweet James will not let this happen. They'll help you get the medical care you need and help you get your life back on track. While their award-winning attorneys work on your behalf to get you the most amount of money possible, you pay nothing until they win your case. If you or someone you love has written an accident, call Sweet James at 800-500-5200, 800-500-5200, or sweetjames.com.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed effortlessly adjusts in response to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. And now save up to $800 on Sleep Number 360 smart bed, plus special financing, only for a limited time. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details. Hey, have you seen this week's deals from Stater Brothers? There's fresh savings on meat, produce, and just about anything for your family's meals. Don't miss out. Visit Stater Brothers Markets online to view the latest ads. Introducing the best deal in mobile. Unlimited on 2 or more lines for $29.99 a month per line. With no contracts, no added taxes, and no hidden fees. Includes nationwide 5G. Save up to 60%. Get unlimited on 2 or more lines for $29.99 a month. Call 855-438-2999. Click SpectrumMobile.com or visit a store near you. Offer valid for new customers on 2 or more unlimited lines. Savings based on 2 line comparison of unlimited plans among major national carriers as of 9/2021. Prepaid excluded. Staples Connect has innovative tech and tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Right now, Apple AirPods Pro are only $199 and you save $50. Explore what's new at your local Staples or StaplesConnect.com. And 1016 limit 2 while supplies last. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's California area attorneys. 1455 Crazy Road, Suite 500, San Diego, California, 92108. CordellCordell.com.
Don't miss Hulu's new original series, Dope Sick, an investigative thriller from executive producer Danny Strong. Discover how one company triggered the worst drug epidemic in American history and then tried to cover it up. Watch how it all began in the boardrooms of Big Pharma, ravaged small-town America, and made its way to the hallways of the DEA. The series stars Michael Keaton, Rosario Dawson, Peter Sarsgaard, Caitlin Dever, Will Poulter, and John Hogenacker, and Michael Stuhlbarg. Watch the first 3 episodes now and catch new episodes Wednesdays on Hulu.
You're tired of your car. You want something new, and you want it now. No problem. Roto has your back. That's R-O-D-O. Sell your old car and get into a new one right from the comfort of your couch. Use the Roto app to browse thousands of vehicles from local dealers for the best deal on the wheels you really want. Roto, the fastest, easiest way to buy or sell a car. Download the Roto app now or check out roto.com. That's RODO.com.
Now they want to test the vaccinated.
You notice how it never ends? I kept saying this. It was this one convinces me you're right. This is a control freak mental issue on the part of people who are in charge. And there's no bigger control freak mental issue than one that resides in the brain of a human resources officer.
John and Ken, weekdays at 2.
They're like homeowners association people.
On KFI.
KFI AM 640, Bill Handel here and the morning crew on a Thursday, October 14th, as we continue on with Handel on the news. Chris in for Jennifer this week, Wayne and me.
If you didn't already understand that people who smuggle other people across the border are cruel and not helping those people, there's a video circulating in news sources that shows a smuggler carrying a 7-year-old girl over the wall. She's riding on his back, basically. Gets over on the U.S. side, walks with her a little bit, turns around, leaves her there alone in the United States, goes back over the wall.
Lovely. And then remember that video of that 3-year-old kid that was dropping that kid? They drop kids every day.
Yeah, lovely. Well, the House Committee investigating the January 6th riot has issued a subpoena to a former Assistant Attorney General in the Trump administration. The guy's name is Jeffrey Clark.
Nobody's heard of him.
Nobody's heard of him.
But he is an assistant attorney general, and they're investigating him into his actions and his involvement in the January 6th.
Yeah, they call
insurrection.
him a pivotal character in the saga.
Yeah, in creating the aura and creating the entire philosophy of Trump's election was stolen. A quick story. I was talking to Robin, our program director, and I was mentioning in a meeting, 74% of Republicans think the election was stolen. And she said, that's crazy. You can't. And then she mentioned a couple of conservatives, real conservatives, one here at the station and one of our advertisers. And these are bright guys, highly educated, very smart. And she said, well, come on. So, talk to X and X. So I talked to X and X. And I came back to Rob and I said, oh yeah, X and X think the election was stolen. There's no question about it. That is the problem. And if you have people in the government, in the Department of Justice, who are pushing not just that the election was stolen, but also the fact that we needed and not so much an insurrection, because I don't think they went for an insurrection and an attack on the Capitol, but certainly the demonstrations and the decertification of the election, where the election results would not be accepted, and Donald Trump would come back, much like Caesar, on his chariot with his gold crown, because he is truly our president. There's no such thing as a free election anymore, unless the Republicans win. That's the only free election that happens in this country. That's why people are screaming about our democracy is under attack, and I completely believe that.
And, that committee also wants to talk to Steve Bannon and Mark Meadows, former chief of staff, and that guy Kash Patel with the Defense Department. They're all saying we don't have to executive privilege. So we don't know what this committee is going to be able to do.
Executive privilege, I don't think is going to fly, by the way.
Well, they're trying it.
Of course they are.
And then the committee, the newest thing, the committee said, well, we're going to make criminal referrals against you for not complying.
We'll see. And Bannon didn't go because he said Trump is going to claim executive privilege.
Trump will claim executive privilege.
Yeah, but Bannon is already saying, nope, because this is what's coming down the line.
Yeah, he knows that.
Yeah, but that's kind of interesting. How do you do that?
I don't think you can.
Get away with it.
I don't think you can, but that doesn't... Oh, I'm sorry, how about the decertification of the election? I don't think you can.
Right.
And it turns out you can't.
Well, it'd be like Trump taking over saying the election is going to be decertified, kind of like Bannon, I know it's not quite the same, saying I'm not going to testify because the executive order will be invoked by the president.
Yeah, well, we will see.
All right, how about some politics closer to home? Every 10 years there's a census, and then you get a redistricting, and the Los Angeles Redistricting Commission has proposed their changes to how the districts in LA would work, and at least 2 council members are furious, Paul Krikorian and Anita Raman, and it's because, and I kind of get their point, in Krikorian's district, he has a certain number of people now that he represents, and after they redraw it, if it happens, only 10% of those people will still be in his district, so and he'll have 90% all new people who don't know him from Adam.
When the redistricting took place federally with the congressional districts, Howard Berman was one of the most powerful congressmen out of Southern California, part of the Berman-Waxman machine, the dynasty, if you will, and Brad Sherman. They had their districts. Howard Berman's people went to Brad Sherman's people, the redistricting, went to Brad Sherman's district. And Berman, powerful, influential, Brad Sherman, basically he's a vote, as opposed to powerful. It is. I mean, he's basically a vote. He's been there forever. You don't hear about him in the leadership or any of that. Sherman won the election.
So we decided that we were going to, or the people of Los Angeles, those districts decided they'd rather have some guy who just takes up a seat versus a powerful, influential congressman who brings money and he brings assets to Southern California. Why? Because of the redistricting. Because the votes actually went into Sherman's district. That's redistricting. It's cleanup time at MacArthur Park. Well, it's cleanup time here at KFI because we are taking a break. All right? Homeless people living in MacArthur Park are going to have to get out while they clean it up. There you go. That's the story. Pretty much. Okay, thank you. Time for a break. Here's my man, Chris Little. Thank you, my man. Gusty Santa Ana winds, which have been pushing the fire in Santa Barbara County, are expected to get even gustier and could cause power outages. The fire has burned more than 15,000 acres and is only 5% surrounded. Santa Barbara County Fire Department spokesman Mark Hartwig says those winds are a real problem.
The turbulence was so bad that aircraft landed and was taken out of service for mechanical reasons.
Evacuation orders are in place, and smoke is causing poor air quality all over the place, even down here. News brought to you by Applied General Agency. The feds are going after L.A. City Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas.
The 20-count, 35-page indictment alleges Ridley Thomas used his position as an L.A. County supervisor in 2017-2018 to grant contracts to the University of Southern California and put pressure on fellow supervisors to give favors to the university. In exchange, Ridley Thomas would work with a university official to launder money from his campaign into a nonprofit run by his son. His son would also get a full-ride scholarship, a master's degree, and a paid professorship. U.S. Attorney Tracy Wilkinson said the desire for university funding apparently trumps notions of integrity and fair play. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
The Labor Department says the Biden administration's requirement that companies mandate that their employees get vaccinated or tested regularly for COVID-19 will be finalized next week. It would apply to companies with 100 or more workers. President Biden announced the plan last month. It needs final approval from the White House. At least 46 people have been killed in a building fire in Taiwan. Officials say another 41 people were hurt. The 13-story building caught fire last night. It was about 40 years old, with shops on the lower levels and apartments up above. Out to the freeways we go with the KFI in the sky to the 5 in Burbank.
Boy, you bet you can't win here at South Santa Valley. Listen up, South 5 at Burbank Empire, the construction zone. I'm sure you're familiar with this if you drive every day. It was a terrible crash. That all lanes blocked. They're trying to clear right now. At least now the two right lanes are open. However, here it comes. South 5 is stopped all the way back to Lancaster. If you can get on around Alameda or Western, it's a good idea, especially by using Glen Oaks. That'll help. South 170, past the split from 5, past Roscoe, only the carpool lane was open there. At the South 5 back up to the 118, South 405. Well, that's slow, but at least all lanes open from the 118 down to the 101. And Doritos, we were checking this earlier.
The new entrance.
That has cleared, a little slow approaching, not too bad. Wow, what a morning here.
Disney Pixar.
Superwoman, Superlawyer.com. Jeff Bob, KFI in the sky.
The deciding Game 5 of the National League Division Series between the Dodgers and Giants happens tonight. A reporter asked Mookie Betts why he thought the Dodgers play their best in these do-or-die situations, but Mookie was focused on getting the job done.
I don't know. I would like to not back against the wall. I'll have a conversation with us. We got to win Game 5 first.
The Dodgers will start Julio Urias against the Giants' Logan Webb. First pitch at 6:07 live on AM 570 LA Sports. Brought to you in part by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo, good time.